Hello students, here's the second part of the sub-plan, and it's trying to get into what we're going to be doing is the guaranteed analysis. Because you guys have recorded, excuse me, your ingredients, the amount of that ingredient, the dry matter, and the dry matter grams and percentages of that particular nutrient, we can then figure out the guaranteed analysis just like the individuals that figure out feed labels have. And the reason we want these is so that we can combat that idea of trying to find advertising as our choice of which feed to do, and instead we can start to base it on the guaranteed analysis. And so to do this, it's just simple 3 steps, and I've listed them down at each one of our different levels. Down here you'll have these 2 black lines, one for where you're going to record the guaranteed analysis, and 2 how to figure it out. So to give an example here, you have ground corn. There are 25 grams of as fed, meaning this has the water. Ground corn is 88% dry matter. That means we take the 88 times the 25 to give us 22 grams of dry matter. This particular amount then goes down here, so that's 22. So we take 22. Let's do this instead. Let's just insert, excuse me, I got the coffee coughs right now. And we'll insert another row above. So we got dry matter. With our dry matter, we got 22 grams. The 22 grams then is times by the nutrient percentage. In that 22 grams, 9% of it's going to be fiber. So let's just figure out our fiber. So 9% is fiber. So then we take the 22 times the 0.09, because that's in percentage, and that gets us then, as I do it in my head over here, about, we'll just round it to 2 grams. So it's like 1.98. 1.98. And we'll just round that up to 2 grams. So now you figure that same thing for all the other ones. This was for ground corn. We then figure out the same thing for each one of the other ones. So if you do all of that math and you do it for each one of the ingredients and do the same equation, then our answer over here gets to be ground corn of 1.98 or 2. Distilled dry distiller grains is 1.82, and then our corn oils are 0.000. And so we can get all of those. Then that would tally up to the step number 2. You add all 3 of those. And so if you add all 3 of those or all of those together, then that means we have a total of 3.8 grams of fiber in our entire diet. Our last step is pretty simple. We just take the 3.8 divided by our total amount of dry matter. And our total amount of dry matter for our diet is here. If we take all these added together, we had a total amount of dry matter of 94.25. We have 3.8% fiber in our diet, and we have 94.25 total grams, which then would give us 3.8 divided by 94.25, and that would then be 0.04 or 4% crude fiber. And then you'd just come over to here and you would have the 3.8 and the 4% crude fiber, or 4. All you got to do is then figure out this first person. Luckily, they're the letter A. They don't have to figure out their fiber because I've already figured it out for them, but they need to figure out their protein, fat, and calcium. You do the same thing, but instead of using the fiber numbers, so use the crude protein numbers, the crude fat numbers, and the calcium levels. If you have any questions, please bring them to class on Wednesday, but this would be the item that we would expect to be done by Wednesday, unless there are questions, so we can move on to our next one. So we're reviewing, figure out the amount of nutrient dry matter amount, which you should already have, the nutrient percentage, and then each ingredient add together to get the total amount in that diet, and then just divide that by the total amount of dry matter, and you have your crude nutrient present.